Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Smith and I'm the Primary Science and Sustainability Development Officer for East Ayrshire, working in partnership with Raise and the Wood Foundation. This CLPL is top tips for your school garden. So if you're looking to start out or if you have some green space that you're hoping to develop, hopefully you find some useful information within this quick CLPL. So the aim today is some top tips if you're starting from scratch, if you have some raised beds, what you can do with them, how you can encourage wildlife into your school garden, and just some really useful resources that I have found along the way. So, if you're looking to start your garden from scratch, I personally think that the best place to start is asking your learners and what they would like in their school garden. Sometimes they have the best ideas. In fact, they've always got the best ideas, and things that we think of as practitioners. They can come up with something completely different that maybe we haven't thought of. So this was a skill within itself. At a previous school that I was in, the whole school actually drew a plan of the school garden, and they decided how they would like it to look. They had to look at symbols, using symbols and what they meant, and drawing a key within this lesson as well. Then they took this a step further and they actually wrote letters to the local council and their parents and partners for any resources and materials that they would like within their drawing. And as we went up the school, it was a really good budgeting task and talking about, it being realistic. There was lots of trampolines and bouncy castles and slides within some of our school gardens. So really thinking about that lesson in itself, which was excellent. They had some fantastic ideas. So there are some simple ways if you think that maybe you just have a playground or if you just have a patch of grass and you're looking to try and bring some more plants and wildlife within your garden. A really simple way of making a raised bed is actually just putting cardboard down on the grass. It wouldn't work on tarmac, but it has to be on grass or soil. And if you put the cardboard down, you can cover it with soil on top of it. And then, even if you had some spare bricks or wood going around the edges just to contain that soil, and it would really surprise you that actually a lot of plants don't need a really, really deep bed to grow in. So hopefully that would get you off to a good start. I know that a lot of local authorities, if you contact the waste, they will actually deliver some compost to your school. Again, if you're starting from scratch and you think that you don't have any areas that you can use, another really good resource is recycling spare tyres. If you contact a local garage, they are delighted to get rid of their tyres. As far as I'm aware, I think they need to pay to get them uplifted and removed from their site. So it's a really good way to recycle tyres. Again, I just line them with a liner, and then we used the compost from the council to completely fill them up. And each class had a tyre and actually made a little competition out of it, whose tyre could grow the best flowers, or some people put herbs and vegetables in there, which was super as well. Just a little note on health and safety with tyres. They're absolutely fine when they are static. So when we filled them with soil, it was no bother. But I know that you do have to do a risk assessment if they haven't been filled up and the kids are pushing them around and using them as loose parts play. So just a wee word of warning there. If you are lucky enough and you do have raised beds, then it's a good idea maybe to have a bit of a clear out first of all. Lots of practitioners and learners are keen and enthusiastic to go and plant lots of different things, but sometimes it maybe kind of means if you're looking to have a specific area for a specific plant, it makes it a bit more difficult if there's random seeds kind of scattered everywhere. So my top tip to you would be to invite parents in, to invite your local community and partners in, and possibly organise a big dig. When I did this with my school, I was in a primary one class, and it was a massive help having our parents and friends of the community in to help out. Got it cleared in no time, they got it done a lot quicker. And actually, it was really good to make some connections. So, because of that and inviting people in, we actually had somebody approach and say that they would like to maintain it and keep it going and come in on a weekly basis, which was really, really lovely to make that connection. Once you do clear your raised beds, if you want to allocate each class a space, it's maybe good to split up the raised beds. You can see from the right-hand picture there, just a simple piece of string or tape or even a wee sign just to allocate who's using what area, and it means that other classes won't come along and dig through your hard work or anything that you have planted. So these are just personally the things that I have found really easy to grow in a school garden. I know that if you look online, there is a whole host of fruit and veg that you can grow in Scotland. But personally, I've found potatoes, courgettes, and carrots really easy to grow in raised beds. Or I've actually used bags for life. I've recycled bags for life and used those with potatoes in them, and they have worked quite well. And also just recycling old tubs or your tyres are another really good place to grow potatoes, courgettes, and carrots. And then kale, lettuce, strawberries, all really good for growing in raised beds or smaller recycled pots, or even some of your flat trays, as long as they've got holes in the bottom so that the water can filter through. I know that sometimes people come back and say that the biggest issue that they have is the watering over the summer. But again, personally, with these particular fruit and vegetables, I haven't had any issues, and I've never had anybody go in and water them over the summer, and we've always managed to create a really good crop from them. And then the class the following year is able to go out and harvest them and make soup and cook with them. It's a really, really lovely process to go through. If you're looking to encourage wildlife into your garden, I'm sure again, if you look online, there's incredible ideas out there, lots of wild and wonderful things that you can do. But to be honest, there's some really, really simple things that you can do that will make a big change to your ecosystems and your mini beasts within your garden. So, one, creating a really simple bird feeder. And this will obviously encourage the wildlife almost instantly, which is excellent. And probably the biggest impact that we had in our school garden was putting a pond in. Now, I did put it in a raised bed, but it was just an old tray or tub that we had in the school. We just dug out a bit in the raised beds, we popped it in, and we actually ended up with some frogs visiting the garden, which was super, and some, not newts, but dragonflies. And it was just incredible. The kids were absolutely amazed. So yeah, if anything, try and add a pond into your garden. I know that if you have a bigger pond, you do have to do a risk assessment in it. So again, just be careful with that. But super for learning about ecosystems, super for learning about mini beasts. Get your children outside. Another way to encourage wildlife, your bug hotel. Normally you can find lots of loose parts. Again, companies are normally looking to give away pallets which they can deliver to your school. So it's really good to ask around. A more expensive option, looking at life cycles, is the butterfly garden. Or I know that some schools have been involved in the chick hatching project. But as you can see there, they are a bit more expensive, but something that is really good and brilliant to be involved in if you ever get the chance to do that. But it does cost money, unfortunately. So some resources that I have just personally found really, really useful. If you click on these links, it should take you to the website of each of these resources. The Lost team within East Ayrshire have been absolutely fantastic. They have loads of information on their blog, not just around school garden, around taking learning outdoors with every aspect of the curriculum. So I would highly recommend looking through that blog. Learn Through Landscapes, they do a local schools nature grant. And if you apply for this, you can buy some equipment for your school garden, but you will also receive some training for your school and you will get access to their resources for a full year. So it's really, really, it's really super. If you click on the North Ayrshire Council outdoor resource, again, some fantastic ideas, not just for your school garden, not just looking at biodiversity, but all aspects of the science curriculum, which is super. The Woodland Trust is excellent if you're looking to, you can apply for packs of trees from the Woodland Trust for free. They will deliver them to your school. I have done this previously and created a wee woodland area, but a word of warning, when the summer comes and the grass cutters come out, I think a couple of hours got mowed down because they're just wee saplings that they deliver. So if you phone your local council and let them know of the area, they actually will tell them not to cut that specific area, or you can always just cordon it off with some cones or something like that. But that was just a wee word of warning. And the RHS, if you go to their website, they have a campaign for school gardening just now, and you can sign up and they will actually send you some freebies, which is excellent. And again, they have loads of good resources on their website. So there's lots of things that you can look through, but those are just some ones that I always refer to and that I always go to. So I thought I would share them with you. The biggest question that I always get is about maintaining the garden, and again, over that summer period where it can be quite hot and maybe there's nobody in to water your plants or your fruit or your vegetable if you're trying to grow things. As I said before, personally, I've never had anybody come in and water the garden over the summer, and it's actually always really nice to come back in August and see it completely flourish. But some ways that you can maintain your garden, you can obviously throughout the year set up a gardening club. You can make links with your local college. I know a school who made a link with their local college and they came out and built some raised beds for them, and they actually helped maintain them as well. You could organise a big dig, as I've suggested before, with your parent and partners and local community. And you can also ask your parent council. Again, having them into the school and seeing the impact that it has on the children and their learning, you never know, you might make that wee connection of somebody who's happy to help out or happy to take a wee group or a club. It just makes a really, really big difference. And on the last slide here, as you can see, I have just collated, I want to say, some of the curriculum, skills, and sustainability development goals that links to um, having a school garden. And as you can see, there's a whole host of outcomes it covers. There's a whole host of meta skills that it covers, and also your sustainability development goals as well. Thank you so much for listening to this CLPL on your top tips for your school garden. I hope you've managed to find something useful in it. Um, so, yeah, and I would love to see some of your pictures and posts of your school garden. Thank you.